Through a lot of research, I've found that a negative light is often shown on religion, and more prominently on religion when it is exercised or shown in schools. Through the interviews that I have conducted with not only students but also teachers and pastors, I have found that a lot of people don't like that, and that a lot of people wish that it would change. And so I'm here to show you not only the interviews but why it should.
I'm atheist.
I am Catholic.
I am agnostic.
I'm a non-denominational Christian.
I'm a United Methodist Christian.
I am atheist.
I recognize as atheist, but I was raised Muslim my entire life.
Christian.
Personally, I would say I'm an atheist.
Well, probably agnostic would be a better idea.
I am a Christian.
I am a Christian.
I am a Christian. I do not have any specific denomination.
My religion is Christianity, and I'm in the Methodist denomination.
Yes, I am Christian, and I'm a pastor at the United Methodist Church downtown.
Congress shall make no law respecting an establishment of religion or prohibiting the free exercise thereof.
In a way I do and in a way I don't, and I don't really know how to explain it.
Yeah, I do. You know, we have a right to our religious freedom, and and as long as we're not imposing on anyone else's freedoms by expressing our religion, I don't see why there's a problem with anybody expressing their religion in schools.
Yes. Going over the Constitution itself, there's nothing that says that religion cannot be practiced within a school system. In fact, the Constitution allows for freedom of religion. So I don't think that there should be any repercussions for that.
Yes, because there's freedom of religion, and that means freedom of all religion. It doesn't mean freedom of Christianity or freedom of whatever else. It just means freedom of all religions.
We actually have the right of freedom of religion wherever. It states that the state can't dictate or determine what religion you are. So with that, you should be able to, without any hesitation or reservation, be able to share your faith, or whatever faith that is, without being ridiculed for it. So, yeah, I'll just leave it at that.
No.
Absolutely not. No, I do not feel that whatsoever. I think that a lot of times there's a stigma on some religions. At least in this school, there's a really big stigma on Muslim people, which is part of the reason why I don't tell anyone about it, because of like 9/11 and stuff like that. Muslim people are stereotyped a lot.
Yeah, but none of them actually, receive a whole lot of respect, but they receive an equal amount of that little respect, I guess.
I don't think all people are equally respected, so I think that all religions probably wouldn't be equally respected either.
By administration of staff, yes, but by most students, I don't think so.
No. I mean, I learned more about like Christianity relating to literature. Other than that, I don't really learn much about any other religions.
In America? No, definitely not. But I don't know that, I know that there are some schools, and even in Wayne County, that allow, I guess they would be more Christian than it would others, but, allow them to practice in their schools. And I guess that's okay as long as it's not sanctioned by the school itself. If they were, using the rooms in the evening, it's a building and they could use it, but I don't think that we should be sanctioning any one religion.
Spirit lead.
I do. I would say any kind of Protestant Christianity.
Yeah, I do. I think it's Christianity simply because it's just a vast portion of America's society. I don't think it's necessarily because they want it to be imposed. I think it's just imposed because of the population of people who are Christian.
I wouldn't say valued, but Christianity is more tolerated.
I mean, I guess probably Christianity is because that's like the majority, I guess, so they probably.
Yes, I think Christian or Catholic, I don't really know the difference between the two, but they seem pretty big. Anything else is kind of, I guess, wrong in some people's mind.
I think because of the predominance of Christianity, it might be seen as more prevalent, but I don't know if it's necessarily valued more by public schools because schools aren't allowed to favor or show favoritism toward any particular religious sect.
Yes, because most people are like, if you're not Christian or Catholic, then you're not anything because you're weird.
No, because I don't think it's associated with any particular religion, and I don't think that they meant it to be. I mean, it certainly doesn't say Jesus Christ, and it certainly doesn't say Muhammad. And I don't know, unless you have multiple gods and you would be offended by that. I've not heard people say that.
No.
I think it should stay, and it's not declaring necessarily my God I believe in. It just says God in general. So.
Well, originally wasn't there. The history of that line in the Pledge of Allegiance was put in the 1950s because we were currently in the Cold War with the atheist communists in the Soviet Union. So, you know, historically, I mean, history tells us it was put in there for political reasons, not because that's what, you know, was originally there. This really originally was not in line. So do I feel, I really don't have a feeling either way about it, but to be honest with you, I mean, it wouldn't bother me if it was taken out because that's how it was originally written. It wasn't written with under God. So, one nation, indivisible.
Yes. Why? Because the only reason that it was added was because we were afraid of communism in the 1950s. People think that it's always been in there. It hasn't. It's the result of hysteria and just, I don't think it should be there.
Surprisingly, no, because like no one really like brings it up anymore, which in a way I feel is good and bad because it's to the point where nobody likes to talk about it because nobody wants to be made fun of for whatever they believe in or not made fun of because of certain things.
Early on in my career, I was first year teacher in 2001. My third week of teaching was right after 9/11, or right during 9/11. I was actually teaching sixth graders when it happened. And the amount of uninformed vitriol hate toward anybody of Islamic faith was very disturbing to me. It actually prompted me to go take courses on Islam at Ohio State.
When I was a sophomore, I was in U.S. history with Mr. E, and we were debating on 9/11. It wasn't really a debate, it was just a talk, and people felt the need to talk about Muslim people, calling them terrorists and kind of blaming the entire religion for it, and I personally took offense to it, but it was just kind of people screaming at me that being Muslim isn't okay, and yeah.
I am a true believer in the separation of church and state, so anything that uses public money should be separate from religion.
I think it's okay for religions to be exercised in school because there's freedom of religion, so I think it's chill.
I feel that everybody has the right to exercise whatever religion they have in whatever way they see fit, so long as it doesn't violate the First Amendment.
Not with public funds. I mean, it's not supposed to, we're supposed to separate church and state. And since this is a public entity, we have to be very careful about, how we can't, support one religion over another.
I feel that as long as it doesn't infringe upon other people's individual rights, that it should be okay.
In public schools, I don't feel like it should be, but because it is to where not everyone is the same religion, I don't feel like it would go along very well.
It's their freedom if they want to do that, as long as they're not pushing their ideas or their ideology or their theology onto anybody else. I really don't have a problem with it.
I think that everyone should have a chance to practice their own religion, but I really don't think that there's a place for it in schools because there's so many different views from everyone, and everyone is just finding themselves in high school to where you could really offend someone if you practice your religion or enforce it, push it upon someone.
I feel like if they want to talk about that amongst their friends and they're not forcing it on anybody, that's fine. And if they want to pray or whatever during lunch or something, that's fine, but as long as it's not forced upon them through the school or anything like that.
I believe that people should be able to learn about them if they want to, and learning about a bunch of different kinds of religions is important, but I don't believe that one religion should be exercised.
I think that a person should be able to express their religion however they see fit within school. If it's a simple prayer before they're eating lunch, or if it's them reading a religious book in their spare time, I think that that's completely acceptable.
I would say that it's their right to be able to do that freely, and for schools to infringe on that and say that they're not allowed to, as long as they're not bothering anyone else, I see no problem with it. I think I'd strongly encourage it.
I mean, I think people should be free to practice whatever religion they are in school.
I believe that it should be allowed to be done, but if no religion is allowed, then I think it's better than just one religion being allowed.
It's perfectly fine if somebody wants to pray or whatever they like individually in school. I wouldn't like to go to a school where they preach, but if there are people that do believe and want to on their own time, at school, I think that's great, because I think it's good for people to have that, safe base to believe.